Verse 49, and David put his hand in his bag and took out the 50 caliber, and took out a stone and slung it and struck the Philistine on his forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he, Goliath, fell on his face to the ground. What's the moral of the story there? David was very good aim. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the moral of the story. I think the moral of the story is that the smallest thing you commit to the Lord, He is able to take that and use that for giant purposes. I think that's the moral of the story. It's not so much about what David did, it's about what God did with what David had. God took control of that stone. I think you should know that. I have no doubt that David was a great aim, a crack shot. I have no doubt about that. That probably gave him some confidence in this, but that's not what happened here. That's not what this is about. This is not about David's aim. It's not about his skill level with the sling. That would detract from the actual point of the story. The actual point of the story is that God took control of what David released for His purposes. The same kind of moral of the story that the Lord wants you to know as a Christian, that the things that you release for Him, the things that you put your hand to do for Him, when you let them go and then trust God with them, God's going to do big things with that. I truly, honestly believe that David could have totally botched it, and that thing could have flung out of his sling wrong, bounced off a tree, and if it would have ricocheted and still cracked Goliath right straight in the forehead. I believe he could have fumbled that so bad that it did a double hop off of the ground, but if so, the Lord would have taken that stone and it would have hopped up and cracked Goliath right in the skull. I believe no matter how David flung that, no matter how bad he could have botched that the Lord was going to take that stone and make sure that it hit its target, the one that the Lord wanted it to hit.